Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be doing a challenge type video. So basically, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, today we are going to be doing the BRATZ doll challenge, and I could not be more excited to be doing this challenge right now. I am so excited. So basically, I woke up this morning, you know, I'm having some coffee, and I'm just kind of scrolling on Twitter, and I see this thing called the BRATZ challenge, and I'm like, what is that? So I click on the hashtag, and basically it is all about girls who, or guys, who are recreating their favorite BRATZ doll makeup look. And seriously, how cool is this? Me personally, growing up, my top favorite things to play with as a kid were baby dolls, Barbies, Polly Pockets, and BRATZ dolls. BRATZ dolls were such a huge part of my childhood. Every Christmas, every birthday, me and my sister always got BRATZ dolls for toys, for gifts. Even when they had the mini BRATZ dolls, like, we had everything. So I saw this challenge going around. I thought this would be so much fun. So I am not a beauty guru. I basically just like to have fun with makeup. I have absolutely no professional ties to makeup at all. I just, you know, like to do it. So this probably isn't going to turn out absolutely like astronomically amazing, but I am going to give it my best shot. So let's go ahead and get started. And of course, I did have to bring out the girls for this video. So these are all of my original BRATZ dolls. I used to have a lot more, but I only kept my 3 favorite ones. So of course we have the beautiful Miss Sasha right here. And then we have the beautiful blonde Chloe. I was gonna do Chloe, but since I'm not a platinum blonde anymore, that wouldn't really work out very well, and I don't have a wig, but I loved Chloe. And then we have one of my all-time favorite BRATZ dolls, and this is the BRATZ doll that I am going to be basing my look off of, and that is, of course, the Miss Beautiful Jade. So as you can see, Jade has dark hair, I have dark hair, so it just makes sense for me and her to kind of do a look together. But I had to whip out and show you guys my favorite BRATZ dolls that I had as a kid. I'm so glad I kept these things because these are just way too cool. So we have Jade, Chloe, and Sasha. These were my childhood toys growing up, and I absolutely loved them. But I really wanted to do a look based off of Jade, and I was gonna do this exact look, but the hair, as you can see, kind of has like brown streaks in it, and I don't really want to do blue eyeshadow with a red lip. I just don't, because I know I'll turn out looking like a clown. So I started going on Google and I started typing in Jade the BRATZ doll, and I did find this specific makeup look, which I am obsessed with, and I think I can do it, and it is this one right here. As you can see, we have the beautiful kind of like black pink smoky eye, we have the beautiful kind of nude 90s lip, and then we have the beautiful black ponytail going on here. So this is the look that I want to base this makeup look off of. I'm really excited, and it had to be my girl Jade. Let me know down in the comments, did any of you guys play with BRATZ dolls as a kid? If you did, what was your favorite BRATZ doll? What was your favorite outfit to dress your BRATZ doll in? And BRATZ dolls today are they're just not what they used to be back in the day. Like, they used to be so cool. They used to be so gorgeous, as you can see. Like, pretty much every Instagram model now looks like this, which is pretty insane, but I love the old school BRATZ dolls. They are honestly some of my favorite. And the best part about these BRATZ dolls is when you take their shoe off, they have no foot. So without further ado, we're gonna let the girls kind of hang out down here, and we are gonna jump right into this makeup look. So I already have my hair pushed back with my little fluffies right here. I feel like these were very like BRATZ doll appropriate today. And I did brush my teeth, wash my face. I have moisturizer on, so I am going to put a little bit of primer on. For that, I'm just going to be using the CoverGirl True Blend. This is the Skin Smoothing Skin Primer, because if we want to look like a BRATZ doll, we have to have perfectly flawless, smooth skin. So I'm just gonna put this right over the areas that I know I need the most help on, like my nose, my cheeks, and on my chin, just to kind of smooth out any like texture or pores that we have that I don't want to show through. Okay, so now that that's kind of sinking into the skin, we're gonna start going on the foundation. So I couldn't really decide what I wanted to do. Basing off of the picture, the BRATZ doll very obviously has very light, pale skin with a little bit of like a yellow tinge to it. So to get that nice, beautiful, flawless, pale finished skin, I am gonna be using my Kat Von D Lock-It Tattoo foundation. This is in light 4-5, at least that's what the little sticker on the bottom says. And then I'm going to be putting in just a little tiny bit of my NARS Natural Radiant Longwear foundation. I have absolutely no idea what this shade is, but it is a little bit of like a yellowy tinge on me, so I am just gonna put a little bit of this in the Tattoo Lock-It foundation. So I'm just gonna shake these up really, really well. And then on just the back of a little powder thing, I'm just gonna start taking some pumps. So I'm gonna take like a pretty hefty pump of the Kat Von D Tattoo Lock-It foundation. And I'm gonna take a little tiny bit of the NARS right there. And I'm just going to mix it up with my finger. And the Kat Von D Tattoo Lock-It foundation is literally like cement. So a little bit goes a long way. You definitely don't need a lot. It is very, very full coverage. So once I have it mixed up pretty good, I'm just gonna start putting some of this on my face. And then I'm just going to be using a wet beauty sponge to blend this out. Since this is such a full coverage foundation, I do recommend using a wet beauty sponge because this will absorb a lot of the extra product. That way you can kind of take some of it off if you accidentally went a little too ham. So I'm just going to very lightly start bouncing all around my face. Okay, so now that we are super nice and caked up, I am just going to go in and put a little bit of concealer underneath my eyeballs. And I'm just using the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Concealer like I always use. And I'm just going to just kind of lightly put some of this down my nose, under my eyes, all that good stuff. And then we will go back in and fix some of the cakiness because when you have like a high coverage foundation like the Kat Von D one, it is very, very easy to look very cakey and like you have way too much makeup on, but I will show you guys how to fix that in just a second. So I'm just gonna go in and bounce this concealer out, making sure everything is nice and blended. So next I'm just going to go in with my Kat Von D translucent setting powder, and I'm just going to very quickly just go in and very lightly just powder all over my face. Okay, and then to go in and fix some of that cakiness, I'm just going to go in with a little bit of this MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus spray. This is in the lavender scent. I absolutely love this stuff, and I'm going to hold it pretty far back from my face, and I'm just going to do a couple spurts on my face, like that, and then I'm very lightly going to go back in with my beauty blender and just very, very lightly tap. So we're basically just kind of sucking up some excess powder, some excess product, just to kind of get rid of that really, really cakey look. And this also works really good to like do during the day as well. Like if you need to like touch up your face makeup at all throughout the day and you're sick of powdering and looking all cakey, this is just another really good way. And it also feels really good on the skin. So yes, now we are looking a lot better. And I'm just going to let the rest of that MAC Fix Plus spray dry on my face. And then looking at the picture, it doesn't look like Jade has a lot of bronzer going on. Maybe like a little bit of color, but really not much. So just to kind of like make my face look a little bit more dimensional, just bring a little bit of color, I'm just going to go in with a tiny bit of some NARS Laguna and very lightly bring that up into the temples. But we don't want to look super chiseled because BRATZ dolls do have very rounded faces, so I don't want to like go crazy with it. Next we are going to move on to eyebrows, and as you can see, the eyebrows on her are very, very thin, very defined, very precise. So luckily I already have thin brows going, so I'm just going to kind of follow the natural shape. But I'm not going to like box them in so much in the front. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that, but they are kind of like rounded at the front. And then I'm just going to go in with my CoverGirl brow pomade, and I'm just going to very lightly start filling them in. And her eyebrows look to be a little bit more on the brownish side, so I actually might mix in a little bit of this brown pomade as well. Okay, so now we are going to get started on the eyes. So the eye look that Jade is rocking is kind of like a pink, rosy colored smoky eye. It kind of looks like we have like a cut crease going on here with a very dark, smoky under eye. So I'm actually going to start on the under parts of my eye first. At least with the eyeliner, and then we will move up to the top part of the eyes. For the eyeliner, I'm just going to go in with a Jordana black eyeliner. Really cheap, really pigmented, and really creamy. Hold down and just put a great deal of this on the waterline, and then we will go back in at the end and kind of smoke it out. Okay, and then for the under part of my eye, I'm just going to take a plain translucent powder, and I'm just going to put that underneath of my eyes because I really liked the way this worked last time, and I just going to kind of put it there to bake and catch any fallout if we have any. And then for this eye look, I pulled quite a few palettes. The first one is the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette. This just has a lot of like really pretty like rosy tones, like this one right here in the middle, which is Nooner. Like I just think that's like the perfect pink shade for this. But then I found this CoverGirl palette, and this is the Katy Cat palette, and it looks like this, and this literally has like all the shades that we need. Like it has this really pretty like dusty rose color, and then it has like the browns and then the blacks. Like I don't know, I just think this is absolutely perfect. So I might use a little bit of these two together so we have some drugstore and some high-end. So to start on this look, I am going to start by cutting the crease a little bit, and I'm not really that good at this kind of thing, so we're just going to kind of take our time with it. And I'm actually going to start with an angled brush like this one, and I'm going to dip into this kind of like black gray shade. And I'm just going to start kind of mapping out where I want to cut the crease. So for a cut crease, you kind of want to go above where your crease is, and I am going to bring it in pretty far. So I'm just going to lightly start Okay, so now we kind of have like a rough draft of where we want everything to go. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we will go back in with concealer and really kind of shape out that eye a little bit. So you can kind of see what I did here, and then we are going to go in and kind of blend this out a little bit. So for doing the blending, you really want to focus on blending upwards. You don't want to blend onto the eyelid. And the blending is the most important part. You really want to kind of take your time with it. You don't want to rush it, because if you rush it, then it's going to get messy and you're really going to have no clue what to do from there. So it looks like on the outer part of her eye, she has the black blended up, and it kind of goes into a brown. So I'm going to start by blending up the black just a tiny, tiny bit. And I'm taking like the littlest amount of eyeshadow on my brush, and I'm just going to very lightly start working that in. And I'm barely touching my face. And I'm just kind of blending that eyeshadow upwards a little bit. Okay, so you can kind of see I did another little bit of like a roughed blending process. And I don't know what it is, but this eye always turns out so much worse than the other eye. So we're gonna try to go in and fix that with some concealing and more blending later. And I'm not too worried about the outer parts of the eye because the kind of cut crease smoky eye that Jade has going on here, as you can see, it goes into like the pink dusty color and then it just goes into dark. So we are gonna go back in and smoke out that outer corner a little bit more. All right, and then next I'm just gonna go in with just this concealer, and this is when we are really gonna go in and kind of define that crease and get it ready for that pink shade and literally cut the crease. Okay, so now we're going to start going in with those pink shades. So first I'm just going to go in with the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette, and I'm going to start packing Nooner. Okay, so now that we have that, we're going to start going in with these darker shades again, and we're going to start smoking out the outer corner of our eye. So I'm just going to lightly start packing that and kind of connecting it to this outer part of the wing here. And then moving on to the bottom part of the eye, we're going to take that same dark color and we're going to connect this outer part down to the lower part. And what I'm doing with the outer corner is I'm kind of just turning this into more of like an almond shape, just so we can kind of mimic the BRATZ doll eyes. And then I'm just bringing that further into the eyelid, but not all the way because we really want that pink to kind of stand out. It's kind of similar, right? So once I have everything where I want it as far as the eyeshadow, now it's time to go in and kind of really smoke it out and make it look, you know, not so incredibly harsh around the edges. So I'm just going to go in with a clean blending brush. There is absolutely nothing on this. And with just very, very light strokes, like barely touching my skin, I'm just going to go all around the edges and just very lightly start smoking this out. And I'm just doing like little circles, little windshield wiper motions, and this should kind of like blur out of this eyeshadow look just so it doesn't look so amateur. Okay, so I'm going to leave the eyes just like that for a second, and I'm going to go in and do just a little bit of a wing, because as you can see, if we go in real close to her eye, it looks like she does have a little tiny bit of like a cat eye going on here. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the CoverGirl Get In Line Active Liquid Eyeliner, and this is just in a black shade. I think we're looking pretty similar. You know, we got the pink, we got the little bit of a cut there. It's not turning out as good as I wanted it to, but it's not horrible. Next, I'm just gonna go in and wipe off that powder that we put on in the beginning. Just kind of get it out of the way. So for mascara, I'm going to go in with my two favorites. We have the L'Oreal Voluminous Butterfly, and then we have the CoverGirl Total Tease Mascara. So I'm just going to go in and just load this up on the eyeballs. Okay, so I'm going to leave the eyes just like how they are for now, and we are going to move on to the lips. So As you can see, this Jade doll has a very distinguished lip line with a very, very pale lip. So I am a little nervous about this because I don't know if I'm going to make it look as good as it does on the doll, but we're going to give it a shot. So as you can see, BRATZ dolls do have very, very large lips. I'm not going to overdraw my lips to be that big because I will literally just end up looking like a clown, but I am going to overdraw them a little bit. I'm going to make them a little bit more round. And to do that, I'm going to use this CoverGirl Exhibitionist lip liner, and this is in the shade 210 Paradise Pink. Okay, so now that my lips are very, very overdrawn with the pink lip liner, then I'm going to go in with the lipstick. Now, as you can see, her lipstick is very, very pale, almost like a pale concealer lavender color. So I looked at my lipstick collection and I found two that I think would work perfectly for this. Jeffree Star Cosmetics Liquid Lip in Virginity, mixed with a tiny bit of Jeffree Star Cosmetics Soft Serve Liquid Lip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of Virginity on the back of my hand here, and then I'm going to take a little bit of Soft Serve like that, and then I'm just going to take a lip brush like this and just kind of mix the two together until we kind of get that like perfect pale shade. Trying to like match it up perfectly with the picture, so I think we're getting there. Just need a little bit more of this like Virginity color. So I think that's pretty close. Once I get the color, I'm just going to start painting it on my lips, making sure that we are leaving that really precise lip line that we outlined our lips with. Okay, so that's kind of how the lips turned out. Not perfect, but I think I got the point across, and I think it looks, you know, pretty similar. Okay, and now for blush, I'm just going to go in with this pink color right here. This is just in Rose Petal by Sephora. Here is the face makeup all finished up. I might go in and try to fix my lips a little bit more, but now it is time to move on to the hair so we can do this very luxurious high top pony. So as we can see in the picture, Jade has a very high ponytail and it's very voluminous, it's very long, so that is what we are going to be doing today. So the first thing is I am actually going to be using some extensions. These are just the Irresistible Me voluminous extensions. I'm going to use this really thick weft right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start parting the back of my head just right in the middle. And since we are going to be doing a ponytail with extensions, instead of clipping them in like this, like you normally would, we're actually going to clip them upside down. That way when you put your hair up, they will be able to lay flat against your head. So I'm basically just going to, this does take a little bit of practice at first, but once you get the hang of it, it is pretty easy to do. Okay, so it kind of looks like that in the back. Then I'm just going to take the rest of my hair and we're going to start brushing it back so we can kind of get like a nice slick ponytail. And you're just going to bring it all up. And you're going to want to bring the ponytail on top of your head as high as you can get it. And then just tie it up on top of your head as tight as you can get it and as high as you can get it. Then we're going to take just a couple of these like singular extensions and just kind of wrap them around the ponytail like that. But first, just to get this ponytail to stand a little bit higher on our head so it's more on the top of our head, I'm just going to take some hair clips like this and just clip directly behind the ponytail. This will just keep your ponytail more secure and more on top of your head like that. And then you're just going to take some bobby pins and start bobby pinning that hair in. So that way the hair tie is hidden, the clips are hidden. Okay, and there we have the completed BRATZ style makeup look challenge. I do have a shirt on, don't freak out. I'm just trying to mimic the picture because she has like the back showing and like just really like seductive looking. So what do you guys think? How do you think I did? I think it turned out okay. This was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give me a huge thumbs up. Make sure that if you are new here, make sure you go down and subscribe. Follow me on all of my social media links linked here and in the description box. Thank you all so much for watching. But until then, I will see you very soon in my next video. I love you guys. Bye!